So United Healthcare reported a staggering $281 billion in revenue last year. The company's CEO compensation topped $20.9 million in 2022, with other top executives receiving similar multi-million-dollar paychecks. These figures highlight the massive profits generated by the company, even as many patients struggle to get their claims approved. Now stop and think about that. Lawsuits have revealed that many denied claims are later overturned in litigation. Some sources say over 90%. This raises a critical question. How many patients suffer needlessly before these denials are corrected? The financial structure of these partnerships are designed to maximize profitability for both United Healthcare and the corporations. These corporations save on taxes while United Healthcare secures a steady stream of premiums. But what about the employees? The tax incentives that benefit corporations are rarely passed down, leaving the employees to face high premiums and out-of-pocket costs. We said that already. And if you've traveled and you've been out of the country and you see where they have maybe free health care, or like in places like the Dominican Republic, you can go to the hospital and ahead of time what your cost is going to be. There are no surprises. There's no surprise bill. And the doctor takes his time or her time to speak with you. It's not a 2 to 3 minute visit. You get actual responses. You get actual care. To make matters worse, insurers like Anthem have even attempted to dictate how long patients can receive anesthesia. Imagine undergoing a surgery and knowing your anesthesia could be cut short because an insurer decided to pay for only 15 minutes of coverage. Let that sit for a minute. This places the responsibility and the risk on the anesthesiologists, forcing them to cut corners or absorb the costs themselves. What kind of care do you think you're getting in that situation? Are you scared to go under? I am. Now, my condolences go out to his family because no one deserves to be attacked in this way. But what about what's going on with our healthcare system? Do we deserve, as a people, to not be treated when we need the care? Let's talk about a few things. One of United Healthcare's most lucrative strategies is its partnership with major corporations like General Motors and Walmart, and some others, right? Those are just examples. These partnerships enable corporations to offer health insurance plans to employees while benefiting from significant tax incentives. Employers can write off the cost of providing healthcare benefits on their taxes, creating financial savings that often don't translate to reduced costs for the employees. Let that sink in for a minute. Now, here's how it works. The corporations pay a portion of the premiums, but often passes on significant costs to the employees. What did you say? Yes, they pass on significant costs to the employees, including deductibles, copays, and out-of-pocket expenses. We all know about those, right? In many cases, employees end up shouldering about 50% or more of the actual cost of their health insurance. While this arrangement is financially beneficial for the corporations and United Healthcare, the employees, who are the end users of the system, bear the brunt of the financial burden. Yeah, when you go to the doctor, when you go to the hospital, you don't know what it's going to cost you. You have no idea what you're going to be paying until you get the bill. That's a shame. And at the same time, the healthcare management organizations are dictating the care patients receive, right down to how long doctors can spend with them. Using the RVU formula, relative value unit, doctors are incentivized to see as many patients as possible. This leads to rushed visits, often lasting only 3 to 5 minutes, where patients feel unheard and their concerns are overlooked. You can look up RVU. I don't have time to explain it, but there is a formula that they use to decide how long your doctor spends with you. And 3 to 5 minutes is not very long if you've been to the doctor and you have a concern. Most of the time, patients end up having their concerns unheard or overlooked. For doctors, running at this pace contributes to burnout as the quality of care takes a backseat to quantity because they have to pay their bills. They have overhead. Look up RVU. It's a real thing. I didn't even know it till I started doing the research for this. Now, United Healthcare has also invested heavily in the artificial intelligence to manage claims. Wow, you say, we can get better care now. Wait a minute. AI evaluates whether or not care is necessary. Now think about that. These AI systems evaluate whether care is necessary, often without human oversight. Yep. So the AI system is doing all the deciding of what care you get. I think, did AI go to medical school? No, honestly, seriously, AI can be truly helpful in helping a doctor with their practice. But when AI overtakes the human connection, seems like a recipe for disaster. In fact, lawsuits have revealed that many denied claims are later overturned in litigation. Some sources say over 90%. This raises a critical question. How many patients suffer needlessly before these denials are corrected? The financial structure of these partnerships are designed to maximize profitability for both United Healthcare and the corporations. These corporations save on taxes while United Healthcare secures a steady stream of premiums. But what about the employees? The tax incentives that benefit corporations are rarely passed down, leaving the employees to face high premiums and out-of-pocket costs. We said that already. And if you've traveled and you've been out of the country and you see where they have maybe free health care, or like in places like the Dominican Republic, you can go to the hospital and ahead of time what your cost is going to be. There are no surprises. There's no surprise bill. And the doctor takes his time or her time to speak with you. It's not a 2 to 3 minute visit. You get actual responses. You get actual care. To make matters worse, insurers like Anthem have even attempted to dictate how long patients can receive anesthesia. Imagine undergoing a surgery and knowing your anesthesia could be cut short because an insurer decided to pay for only 15 minutes of coverage. Let that sit for a minute. This places the responsibility and the risk on the anesthesiologists, forcing them to cut corners or absorb the costs themselves. What kind of care do you think you're getting in that situation? Are you scared to go under? I am. And now, virtual AI doctors' visits are being touted as the cost-saving measure. While convenient, these visits often mean decisions about your care are being made by algorithms rather than actual doctors. AI has its place in healthcare, yes. But when it replaces the human touch and the clinical judgment, we risk reducing patient care to a mere cost analysis exercise. And who loses in that case? You do. The patient does. These issues highlight a troubling reality. The healthcare system is increasingly focused on profits over patients. Corporations and insurers benefit from the partnerships and tax breaks. But the people they're supposed to serve, employees and patients, are left paying the price. You and I are left paying the price. So listen, I'm really sorry that this happened to the CEO, and my condolences go out to his family. But you know what I wonder? I wonder if this was part of the cost risk analysis, because CEOs do have security most of the time. They have high level security that follow them around. So if this was part of the risk cost analysis, I wonder how his family feels about that now, because I'm sure they would have preferred to have him home with them as opposed to this situation. And I'm not saying it's okay for someone to go out there and commit such a heinous act. That's not what I'm saying. But the acts that are being committed by these health insurance companies are also heinous. They leave us without care. They leave us in debt. Your mothers, your fathers, they leave them in pain. Come on. When does it stop? And if you've experienced issues with your healthcare insurance or claim denials, don't hesitate to reach out to patient advocacy organizations. I will link some down in the description box for you below. We've had enough of these health management organizations, these healthcare companies dictating to us what they can see you for, what they will pay for. We are paying them, and they are not taking care of us. Do you understand when you go to the doctor and you talk to your doctor, right? Let's say you call your doctor. Quick example. You call your doctor and you have a cold, right? But on the way you decide, hey, I want to talk to that doctor about the blood tests that I was supposed to have or that I need to have, whatever. So you get there and you talk to him about the cold. He leaves. And you're thinking you're going to get a chance to talk to him again about this blood test. And then next thing the nurse comes in and they're like, oh, here's a prescription. The doctor said blah, blah, blah. And he's already moved on to his next patient, or she's already moved on to their next patient. So now you either have to make another appointment, right? So that's another copay, another deductible payment. Oh, yeah. So don't think that these costs are not being passed on to you, because every time you go to the doctor, there's a copay. And some of us have deductibles that have to be met. So if I can't go to my doctor's visit and discuss all the issues that I have today with him or her, who's eating that cost? You are. And what if there's something else that's urgent that they might have been able to catch at that time? But now you can't even get another appointment because they are so swamped with they're so booked and busy with all these people, these herd of people, that the people that they're herding through their practices, that you can't get a visit for 3 weeks to a month or maybe 2 months. There are no visits available for you. How do you have your visits addressed? Oh, you know what you could do? You could call the AI doctor and have them handle it. Really? Is that how we want to handle people? Is that how we want to handle the system? And I think AI is great for quickly pulling some ideas to help a doctor make a determination. But let me tell you, as a nurse who understands that sometimes you need to see someone, you need to see what their skin looks like, you need to see what their expression is, because there's more to medical practice than just prescribing a medication, performing a surgery, and writing a few notes on the patient and sending them on their way. There's more to it than that. Medicine is an art, and medicine is an art that's being used for these healthcare companies to profit from. They're taking money even from the physicians, because the physicians are getting paid less and less, so they have to do more and more to keep up with their wages, because medical school is not cheap. Who's winning in this? It's not the CEO of United Healthcare. He didn't win. I don't care how much money he made. He just lost his life. And I don't know if, this is just speculation at this point, but I'm interested to see. I'm interested to see if that's facts. And if it's facts, I would not be surprised. Especially when you have Anthem, who just, it's like they one follows the other, right? They follow their lead. You have one major healthcare company does something, then the other one does something else, and they test the waters to see what's going to work at your expense, the expense of your health. Let's forget the money for a minute. It's your health we're talking about. And you're not getting health care. I don't know. You're getting AI care. And yes, AI can probably quickly run some numbers and randomly decide that, you know what, if you have A, B, and C symptoms, that this is probably what's wrong with you. But you know what the doctor can do that AI cannot do? The doctor can touch you. The doctor can see you. And maybe come to a different conclusion based on the fact that you're clammy, or your skin is gray, or your skin is bright, or your skin is dry, or you have some edema, whatever it is that they can physically see, or your eyes are jaundiced, right? You know, let's make this let's take this opportunity, I should say. Let's take this opportunity to see if we can fix some things that are broken in the healthcare system before we lose any more lives, whether it's a CEO's life or a patient's life. They're all worth it. All right. Well, thank you for joining me for today. Drop me a comment. Let me know what you think about that. Are you a doctor? Are you a nurse? Do you work in the healthcare field? Are you a patient who has experienced this? Drop me a comment and let me know. Let's talk about it. I'm going to drop the link for the healthcare advocacy. If you're having any issues, that you can call and have those discussions with them, especially if you've been denied. There are many lawyers out there now taking on lawsuits to sue these insurance companies. And the sad part is that they used AI, but don't forget that 90% of those decisions, when they went to court, were eventually overturned. But the problem is, how long did it take? How much worse did that patient get before that decision was overturned? Is that healthcare? Is that truly healthcare? I just want you to know one last thing, that it's really hard for your doctor to override the healthcare company's decision. So what do you think pre-authorization is all about? Authorization from it doesn't matter what the doctor says. If they say no, they run it through the algorithm and they say no, how's your doctor going to override that? How is he going to provide you the care? It's really sad. It's time that this changes, because in other countries, it's not this way. It's only this way. It's this way mostly here in the US, where you don't get care. And they tell us that other countries have poor healthcare systems. What do you call this? We have CEOs getting shot for not giving care. We have patients that are dying because AI systems are denying them care. What is this? What are we running? What kind of healthcare system is this? Anyway, these are just my thoughts, my point of view. I don't know what you think, but you can drop me a comment and let me know, and we'll talk later. In the meantime, you stay beautiful, you stay inspired, and you stay empowered so you can keep taking care of yourself and those around you. Peace and love, and stay sexy, of course.